Hey, yo, this is your girl, Melanin Audacity, and thank you for tuning in to the Master Elements Podcast.
Smash the elements. 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 Smash the elements.
Well, anyway, all right, welcome back. We're on part 3. Today is Sunday, June the 14th. Good evening and welcome to the Master Elements Podcast. My name is Melanin Audacity. You can reach me across most popular social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Melanin Audacity. And of course, you can follow me. I have a channel here on YouTube as well under Melanin Audacity. DJ RPBEATS, let them know where you are.
All right, you can follow me, DJ RPBEATS, across all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, DJ RPBEATS.
DJ RPBEATS. And our third member is out today. Sincere Love to God. You can reach him across all social media also as Sincere Love to God. And also, I guess I'll plug his new project, Ep.5, AKAM, A King by Any Means. And he has a new record song called Black Matter Lives, which is a play on Black Lives Matter. That'll be coming out soon. I'm sure he would expect us to plug him.
Yeah.
So moving along, although I think we lost part 2. So if that's the case, then we're just going to have 2 parts in this. I found my other sheets, so I'll continue with my little honorable mentions of the week. And these are things that happened last week. I saw an article, 18 murders in 24 hours in Chicago, the most violent day in 60 years. That on top of the protesting, on top of the coronavirus is way too much for anyone. That I don't know what's going on out there in Chicago and all across America, because even here in Newark, New Jersey, where I live, not last week that I heard, I think it was 1 or 2 last week too, but all throughout this coronavirus quarantine, they still managed to do some black on black crime type murders, you know what I mean? And I'm like, really, guys? I mean, you can't get a cut a break.
Right.
And I feel that fuels or is part of the reason why police get off. You know, I've always felt that way. Like they would always use the fact that we don't have a problem taking each other's lives. So what would it matter if they did? I mean, I don't agree with either, but I don't understand how it's so easy to take the life of your fellow brother. I don't care what it's about. Go toe to toe, put your hands up. You know, somebody got to take an ass whooping. Somebody gonna dish one out and somebody gonna take it, but you live to fight another day, as Pop says. Shout out to Pops from Friday. I can't believe I can't think of his name.
John Witherspoon, rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace to John Witherspoon. So, you know, Chicago, that's nuts though. 18 murders in 24 hours. And I think I did breeze through that article and it walked you through at 2 o'clock, boom, somebody got shot. 2:30, somebody got shot. 3 o'clock, somebody got shot. It was like every half hour, 15 minutes, they were going bananas this particular day.
Nuts.
Yes. So, you know, be safe out there. It's not worth it. It's not worth. If you're willing to go to jail for taking the life of another Black person, you should be willing to go to jail fighting for freedom and all the injustice and things of that nature. You need to pick your back. Go to jail, and that's worthy. You know, we'll have your back if you do the right thing, if you know what I mean. That's nuts. So Breonna's law was passed. This was really quick. Breonna Taylor, Louisville Metro Council just voted unanimously to pass Breonna's Law, which is a total ban on the no-knock warrant. Shout out to Louisville Metro, and shout out to Breonna's family for making this happen. This is exactly what I want to see. They do something wrong, we make it illegal to do it and get a law passed. That's exactly what I'm all about. So I was really happy to see that come up in my news feed.
Now they got to arrest the cops that did it.
Yeah, now they got to convict them.
And convict them.
Did they arrest them? I think they ended up arresting them, right? No, not in Breonna's case? Mm-hmm. Well, that's coming then. I thought they did arrest them. And
they swept it under the rug.
Oh, yeah, because I think then some top official get fired too, or
he got caught. Yeah, because they didn't even put anything on the report.
Yeah, letting stuff slip under the rug. Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a man can't even sleep in the Wendy's parking lot.
Without getting killed.
Ashamed of yourselves. We had a conversation last week where we talked about the Black militia.
Mm-hmm.
With our special guest Valerie from Charlotte. Another thank you and a shout out to Valerie Rudolph from Charlotte, who joined us last week. She was all gung-ho about wanting more information about how to join, the group or get involved in it. And so I started doing some research, and they had them listed. First of all, I found 3 parties that I didn't even know existed, and I'm Black, How that works. So one group is called the Black Writers Liberation Party, the BRLP, and then the second one is called the New Black Liberation Militia, NBLM, and the New Black Panther Party. All of them are labeled terrorist groups.
But the KKK isn't.
But the KKK, well, listen, boy, you can't win for losing out this mug. I just want to give a worthy mention of those. If anyone's interested, those are what they're called. Let me see what else. We talked about unemployment. Oh, coronavirus. The last I checked today, June 15th, we had 115,000 people die in the United States from this coronavirus. And they're continuing to move forward with reopening states when we don't have a firm grip on this stuff, on this virus and this silent killer, if you will.
A big mistake.
Yes, I think you guys, I understand being cooped up is what we're not used to, and I don't think we should be cooped up. You can enjoy your backyard or go over to a friend's and have a few friends over and y'all sit 6 feet apart or whatever the case is and wear your masks. But going in public, you have to wear the masks. You have to still stay vigilant because we don't want the numbers to rise with our people. They already claim that of the 115,000, a great percentage, I don't know the number at this point, is of Black people, or people of color. Although there are deaths in every nationality. And I think I also saw that in Rio de Janeiro, they're really having a bad outbreak this week. In that instead of sending them supplies, they sent them body bags.
Wow.
Disrespectful. Wow. This administration is, I'm going to say, the worst in ever, even despite the slavery administrations, which kind of was an administration, you know what I mean? But this is something else here. I don't even know what to say. Also, CDC predicts 130,000 by July 4th. That's like, what, 3 weeks away? Two and a half weeks away, something like that. So that's 15,000 more people they're expecting to die in 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. And 170,000 deaths by October. This is no joke. It's no joke.
And they're talking about a second wave in the fall.
Oh my goodness! Because that's when flu season it kicks up or whatever. And also tonight, not that you'll see this tonight, but Ron, they're having a special about the bats because they're saying the coronavirus kind of is some kind of way the bats has something to do with it. And that they're going to, so I recorded it because I want to watch it, so I'll bring up that information next week. But I'm interested to see how it is that the bats carrying it or how that works with the bats. But I also remember them saying in the preview, what baffled them and why they're doing the study is because they don't have the virus. They don't even have it. They test negative, but they give it. I don't know. So once I watch that, I'll definitely give a report on that. And then on 6/12, they project a spike in cases as the states open. Arizona and Houston reported a rise in cases and that patients were filling up the hospital beds. And that was on 6/12, 3 days ago. So again, we want you to be able to subscribe, like these videos, and click the notification bell and leave some comments, But if you're not vigilant and you get the virus, then you're not going to be able to do that. So stay vigilant, wear your mask, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, stay 6 feet apart when you can. Sometimes, I'm guilty of it. I've been giving out some hugs. I miss my family.
Right.
I had my mask on when I did it, and then I try to turn my head, I'm giving hugs like this, but I still I'm going, like I told you, I'm coming to New York on Tuesday because I miss my mommy. I'm going to see my mother. And so I'm definitely going to hug her, regardless. I'm going to turn my head too and have my mask on, but I miss my mommy and I'm going to see her. So you ready to get into the defunding of the police?
That's a big one.
Have you had a chance to dig into that, or have you read an article about what that actually means?
Well, I know Minnesota. They are making strides toward doing so, but they don't really have a clear-cut indication or structure of how they want to go about replacing. But what I've read is that they want a model that is more up to date and a model of protection and safety for their public and citizens that reflect someone who has compassion and also someone who would use deadly force as a last resort.
Yes, which is what they're supposed to do anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought it would be nice to kind of give some background on how policing started in the beginning, because when we first came here, it was no police, right? They had to develop this structure. So this is just a abridged version. If you want to do some research on how policing even got started, I suggest you do that. So how policing began. The development of policing in the United States followed the development of policing in England. In the early colonies, it took two forms, informal and communal watch, where volunteers warned of impending danger. So they weren't actually taking action or apprehending or stopping. They just look, something ain't right, get in the house or whatever, some danger's coming or whatever that meant for, back when the colonies were here. So Boston created what was called a night watch in 1636. New York did the same in 1658. Philly in 1700, and by the 1880s, all major cities had municipal police forces in place. However, they weren't effective because the watchmen, they weren't even called policemen at this point. They were called watchmen. They slept and drank while on duty. So they was told up what they was going to do if something jumped off, However, the first police force formed in Boston in 1838. New York in 1845, and in 1857, both Newark, New Jersey, which is where I am, and Baltimore formed their first unified police forces. And on a side note, law enforcement in the South began as slave patrol, a team of vigilantes hired to recapture escaped slaves. So I found that interesting tidbit and thought I'd share it, because we have to understand that if we have a police force comprised of generation after generation after generation after generation of policemen, or from watchmen through to policemen, this they same mentality, and that's what are being targeted, and they don't have no problems busting the cap in our asses, right? Because their job began as slave patrol to capture escaped slaves. You understand what I'm saying? So they always had this disdain for us, no matter how successful we are, no matter how compliant we can be, as we saw with in Raynard's case. He started being complicit to their demands, and then they just took it too far and he wasn't having it. That's what happened, basically. You know, he's a grown man. He's a man at the end of the day, and all people deserve respect. But men expect a certain level of respect, you know what I mean, as a man, from man to man. You understand what I'm saying? Not that women don't deserve respect, we do, but I'm just saying, when it's a man and a man, two men, there's a certain level of respect that is expected, or you know, somebody gonna get chin checked. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. So on to defunding the police. So I saw this on the news, like many of you probably. And I know at first I was like, well, we need the police now, because that's how I took it initially. Like, what, they trying to get rid of these mugs? I mean, we need them, you know. Who gonna catch the criminals and stuff like that? So that part of it is going to be untouched, although the reform is coming with regard to how they would work as the police officers responding to crime. What the defunding, to my understanding, is that things that are outside of criminal activities will be handled by social services. So the police will still be funded to fight crime, yes, because that, you know, that's kind of ridiculous to even think that that's what that meant, you know, after I, you know, dug into this. So what will go to social services are mental health cases, domestic violence cases, homelessness cases, and probably if you fall asleep in the Wendy's parking lot. You know what I mean? That's not it's not a crime to fall asleep in the parking lot. So I don't know that that's social services bag either, but it definitely is something that some other portion of public safety could come and address. You know what I mean? So they're going to reallocate funds away from the police to social services for those things, and reimagining what public safety looks like. The funding will go to support people and services in marginalized communities. So that's what I had on that. I think that kind of sums up what it is. It's the solution, which is what I'm for. We know what the problem is, but we have to submit some solutions for execution. However, the solution needs to be developed, and that can take some time to really spell out and iron out the details about how this actually will work. So in the future, we should see, you know, a change in what we can call the police for, or when to call the police, when to call this particular safety organization, this safety organization, and this safety organization. And I think that is a awesome idea. I'm all for it. And I can't wait to see how that's going to play out, and, you know, what they come up with as a plan.
Right. And I think, like, there needs to be, you know, like you stress a lot as far as changes in policy for an accountability, because, you know, as we know, you know, what just happened to Mr. Floyd. I've seen, you know, one of the officers where he was released on bail, and the officer that actually choked him, he is entitled to a $1 million pension still. So we need to change these laws. Basically the family should take the pension, and
Exactly.
there should be accountability of they cannot be rehired, or
Yeah.
they cannot be reassigned to another department. It
Yep.
should be where, okay, basically the money is not coming from the city. They should be able to sue them on a personal level, where they would basically seize his assets. The
Yeah.
family would take all his assets and everything, because we have to change those laws so they know, okay, well, I can't just go out here and play cowboys and Indians.
That's
You
right.
know, I have to. That's a last resort. If
Yeah.
my life is in danger, yes, I have to protect myself.
That's right.
You
If it's
know,
justifiable, then
it's
good. But if
justifiable.
it's not justifiable, then that's your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
your and
That's my pension. That's
everything you
my
work for.
house. Everything I
Yeah.
work for. Right.
That's
Yeah. I think we
right.
need to get to that level.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right. And then for me, because I'm always digging deeper, I feel that in addition to to piggyback rather on what you were saying, they shouldn't be able to go to another state and be hired either. They should not be able to get
Yeah.
in law enforcement. They can't even be a
At
security.
all. Right.
And then also with regard to the pension being available after you're convicted of a murder, that's ridiculous. But we
Yeah.
have to understand that the reason it's possible is because when they built the laws, they made sure the laws protected them even when they committed crimes.
Right.
And this is a prime example. How the hell are you still eligible for your pension after you murder the person and go to jail when I'm not eligible for unemployment if I don't work 3 months straight or something like that? You understand what I'm saying? So there's some disparaging differences in many things that end up, putting us at the short end of the stick. But they can do the most heinous things, such as kill a person and still have access to money. Just like people that support these police officers with these GoFundMe pages and they raise all this money for them, that should be illegal too. If this person has a criminal case or something, you can't get no GoFundMe page.
All those funds should go to the family of the victim.
Yeah, and you know what? That's exactly what GoFundMe. If you want to find this money going over there. So I'm not sure now that I said that. I think I heard that GoFundMe is not supporting that. They can't do that on there anymore. I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of, after I said it, something came in my head that I may have read that. So I'm not sure that GoFundMe has eliminated that ability for people to raise money for people charged with murder. So, and that's about it. That's all I have for the defund the police. Anything else? We have a few minutes for one other story. Anything that you posted on your Facebook? I can check because I knew Sincere would have some things, but anything on that you posted this week that you might want to just do an honorable mention? I see you got one here. As soon as one of you, I think both of you did. Man found hanged from tree in Manhattan Park. I didn't even see this one.
Yeah, but the main one was the young man in California, and that particular case, the police are trying to say that young man committed suicide, which we know that wasn't possible. So we understand that it's a lot of unrest going on around that, and there's some investigators that are being put on by the family, and we know what's going on. We starting to see strange fruit again.
Yeah,
And it's they trying to take us back to that time, and that's why I'm saying I'll stress again to my brothers that you guys are gonna have to arm yourselves and you have to strap up.
that's right. And also look into that's a good point, and I think I'll close with that. look into what it takes for you to become a registered carrier in your state, in your town, in your city. For me, I have to go to my nearest precinct and obtain a number so that I can then go back online and file and start the process. But you have to go to the police precinct first. I don't know what that's about. I haven't done that yet. I don't think they're taking them yet because of the corona. They're only dealing with serious, issues. I don't think they even are allowing you to just walk into the police department like that. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't try it. I'm assuming right now.
Okay.
But those were the instructions when I went online to look into it, because I feel that is one or two things going to happen for me. I'm getting me a piece off the street and have to, but bash Mr. Head in and worry about heaven later. You know what I'm saying? That type of mentality. And then then start the process, because I think it's a lengthy process, but I'm willing to go through it because I don't know how to shoot a gun. That ain't how I want to live, but they forcing my hand now. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to give my own life a chance by being able to defend myself should I find myself having to say you, him, or me, or whatever. You know what I mean? So look in your town, find out what the method is, and start the process. And it's unfortunate, but it's something that I feel like the times is calling for that. They are armed. They've been arming themselves, and we've been looking at them arm themselves, and we've just been like, you idiots, why do you need these guns and that? Because we're not violent like that. We're not looking to be just killing people. You understand what I'm saying? We just want to be treated fairly and have the same opportunities as everybody else. That's free. That doesn't cost you a dime to do. It doesn't. It doesn't cost you anything. But you know what? As Malcolm X said, eye for an eye. Eye for an eye.
I agree.
All the marching and protesting still has not helped us one bit. So now, hope you ain't got no Wendy's in your town. And I hope that shit don't go down by the nearest precinct. Because y'all know now we ain't having it. We not for the jokes and games no more. The shits and giggles is not gonna happen.
Nope, it's a whole new generation out there right now. All them kids in ATL right now, they out there protesting. They shut down the highways. Them kids are not playing. It's a different generation of kids that are here now, and they don't care. So they're not scared of you guys. I'm just a nice little
they sure are.
They're not scared of y'all.
Once they get the real truth of where they come from and how it came to be, I'll close out with I went to the Million Family March. Remember Dwight from RF department? Dwight, Washington, Dwight. Me, him, his son, his significant other at the time, her daughter, and his son. We was like a little family. We was a family. They was the mother and father. I was the oldest child, the son, the daughter, and then my son came. It was that was like one of the best times of my life. I'll never forget that. But anyway, we went to the Million Family March, and I'm not a follower of the Nation of Islam, and I don't have anything against the Nation of Islam. I agree with a lot of what Farrakhan has to say. And this in particular stuck with me since I think that happened in 2001, I think it was, something like that. He says, they messed up when they put that internet. Once people get the information and the knowledge they need about our history, what it was all about, it's going to be a sad day in America. So we're not at where the majority of us have that information and knowledge yet. But if they had that knowledge now, it would be far more worse. I really believe, because our history as Black Americans is so horrific and so sad and so painful that for people not to understand our plight and where we come from is just not only ignorance, but it hurts as well.
Right.
It hurts as well. Because we're human, we have feelings, and you know, we don't deserve to be treated like dirt, scum of the earth, because we're not that. Every race has good and bad people. You understand what I'm saying? And for the most part, we are good people. So I'm gonna close it out with that, unless you got something you want to add to that.
No, I totally agree, sis. You know,
Yeah. So I implore you to do the research, go back and start, just put in, why did slavery start? What was slavery? And just start clicking on different articles. You'll be surprised. You know, don't take the first one. Don't do that. Don't. You have to read a bunch of different articles to get the full story, a bunch of different stories and sources of information. And then you're still going to have to put it together on your own, come to your own conclusion. But I implore everybody to start doing that. Get the knowledge. 1619, if you know what that means, drop it in the comments box and let's have a conversation about it. But I think every Black American should know, just like they know Beyonce songs, what 1619 means for us. So that's it for us. I hope you enjoyed the conversation between me and RP, holding it down while Sincere is absent tonight. Yep. And again, I want to say that if you want to join us on a Sunday at 9, we record from 9 to 11. You can come in at any time, by the way. The only thing is that you have to subscribe to the channels, all of ours. So that's Master Elements, DJ RPBEATS, and Sincere Love the God on YouTube. Then follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And once you've done that, then shoot us an email and we'll have you on. We'd love to talk with you. We'd love to chop it up with our subscribers and our followers to get other perspectives and points of view. It's not just about us, but this is a platform where we feel that, you know, we have something to say and something to add to, just like, you know, everybody else. And we're using this platform to do it. So don't forget to subscribe. Were you about to say something, Ron?
Nah, I'm with you. Join us.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like these videos, especially this one. And click the notification bell. And the point of that is so that when we do upload new videos, you just get a notification. Master Elements Podcast put a new video up, and then you can check us out then. It's free, doesn't cost you a thing. I don't even think you have to have a YouTube account. You might have to have a Gmail account. So it might cost you some time, but we'll appreciate all the support, all the comments. If there's anything you want us to touch on, put it in the comments, and we'll definitely put it up in the show, and then we'll tag you on that video. So I hope you all have a great week. Take care and stay vigilant. Keep the mask on, keep your distance, and live to see another day. All right. We out of here. Good night.
Yeah.
Night.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, RP. I'll see you Sunday.
All right, no doubt.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Master Elements.
Smash the elements.